It's Marcelo again. We've just spoken about input transformers. We spoke a little bit about output transformers. And we're going to continue today talking about a couple of more passive components that we have and we designed and that we actually manufacture here at Chameleon. And the next one's inductors. When you look at a product in terms of, the things that you really, really like about it, it almost is a combination of two things. Number one, in my life, it's been all about data, gathering data, understanding the data, translating it. The one thing about data, it doesn't lie. I think the trick over time is to be able to look at data and understand how it will translate into an audio experience, which is very personal. And I always loved inductors, for example. I loved, the first time I heard a 1073, really difficult to get a bad sound out of that device. And the sweetness that you can get from an inductor-based topology, and in this case an inductor-based equalizer, is really unusual. It's very different than to trying to get the same sort of sound from a parametric based on just integrated circuits. But inductors also come with their own set of characteristics. In this case, this is the one that we make here at Chameleon, and its design is very similar to the parts that you would find inside some of the old school British EQs. The trick and how an inductor works, it's actually quite simple. You have a little bobbin, wind a bunch of wire inside of it, put it inside a ferrite core. This is half of the ferrite core. And you measure inductance. It could be 20 millihenry, it could be 250 millihenry. The interesting part of the inductor is that as a signal goes into it, audio signal in this case, you have not only the inductance that you measure, but you're also going to be measuring resistance. And resistance inside of an inductor is actually a function of the level of that signal. So the resistance actually changes in keeping with the voltage of the audio signal. In a way, it mimics almost like a passive compressor. And that's kind of like the sound that is the characteristic of the audio going through an inductor-based EQ, which actually can be a lot of fun. The inductor also introduces its own set of harmonics. And then when you get into that term, it's really the character of the audio. You have more harmonic content in inductor-based EQ than you do in a normal EQ, which can be extremely quiet. But when we're talking about microphones, when we're talking about different microphones, different jobs that you have tracking audio, this is where something like this can be an awful lot of fun.